Before I released this word that he dropped into my spirit, and he kind of shook me out of my place where I had stopped. And he pushed me to restart again in something that I was pursuing. So I'm here this morning to release this, to drop this word into your spirit as I empty of myself. So, dear God, let this word flow through me and let it hit someone the way that it hit me. Let it drop into another spirit, another person's, your chosen one's spirit, the way it dropped into my spirit. And let it impact them the way that it impacted me. Oh God, take over as I release this word. In your son, Jesus' name, I pray. Chosen ones, God said to me, protect your hands. And when he said, protect your hands, he said to me, there are some things that you are allowed to come into your hands that's not a part of your purpose. He says, that's what's stopping you from pursuing your destiny. He says, you have to protect your hands. Everything that comes your way, everything that looks shiny is not always gold. Everything that looks gold is not always good for you. He says, and everything that smells sweet doesn't taste sweet once you receive it. He says, so protect your hands. And he says, in order to protect your hands, you're going to have to protect your minds. You're going to have to shield yourself. He says, you're going to have to seek him and ask him to give you that spirit of discernment, to give you direction, to bring those into your lives who are a part of your purpose, to remove those who are not a part of your purpose, who don't have your best interests. And he says, look at the motives. He says, always seek him and ask him about the motives. He said, and check the heart, check your heart. He says, and follow your instincts. He says, chosen ones, protect your hands. He says, because there are some things that he's bringing to you, that he has in place for you, that he's trying to get to you, but your hands are too full. He says your hands are too full with things that are not of purpose. He said, you're holding on to some things that doesn't have anything to do with your purpose. He says, you're holding on to some things that you shouldn't be. He says, you're moving in a direction and grabbing hold to things and picking up garbage from out of other people's lives that they're emptying on you. He says, chosen ones, protect your hands. He says, in this season, in this time, he needs you to make sure your hands are free so you can receive the blessing that he has for you. He said, the windows of heaven are open. He says he will shower, he would overflow the blessings, he will pour into your life. He says, but your hands have to be open. Your hands have to be free to receive. He said, there are so many, oh God, he's saying in the spirit, there are so many of his chosen ones that he's trying to get things to. He says, but your hands are so full that you cannot receive. So he says, look at your hands. Look at your hands and see what it is that you have in your hands. And he said, look at your hands and see what it is that you're touching right now. He says, protect your hands. So I don't know who this message is for, but I know it was for me. We have to protect our hands. We have to be mindful of what we're placing in our hands. Because many times the enemy knows the blessings that are coming. He knows what God has. He kind of senses, he smells that there are some greater things coming in your life. So what he'll do is send people or things in your path that will bring things into your life or offer things to you that are not a part of your purpose, and that's only to distract you from the blessings and for the things that God has for you. So chosen ones, protect your hands. Look at your hands. They are created for God's plan for your life. Look at your hands. See what you have in your hands. And that that is not of purpose, you got to release them, remove it. God says, protect your hands in this season because greater is coming for you. And he's trying to get that stuff to you, but he can't because your hands are full and filled with things that are not a part of your purpose, filled with things that are not a part of your destiny. You're holding things that you have no control over. You've allowed things to come in your life that looks like they're gold, that you think are golden. And you've moved from where he has you, where he had you planted in purpose, over to the other side where you thought it was greener. He says to tell you, oh God, he's saying in the spirit to tell you to come back into the field, into the pasture where this grass is, where it's green here, where you can eat. He said that grass you thought was green on the other side, that wasn't the place for you. So return to the pasture in the field where he is. Release yourself. Remove some things from your hand that you know that is not a part of your purpose. He says, chosen ones, protect your hands. You all be blessed.